It seems like I'm going to be on my own for today. What are you doing, man? God, man, honestly. You need to grow up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Welcome back to the Geese feeders. So, Hassan.
Yes.
Do you remember creepypastas?
Is that like a type of food?
No, it's a...
Like lasagna and you got margheriti.
It's a horror website, man.
Oh yeah, creepypasta. I thought it was like creepy noodles or something like that.
We're nearly 20 years old now, and I grew up reading creepypastas online, you know, all the famous ones. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I grew up with horror films. They're really scary, you know. It's like a study of the human condition when you think about it. When you say that, you're like, wow, I'm so scared by these figures.
It was a very unique time growing up in the early 2010s because there were so many, you know, mainly creepypastas, but general internet horror was booming. I'm going to go through 3 creepypastas and I want to get your opinion on them. You know, the iconic ones. And how many are you going to go through with us?
Okay.
How many are you going to go through with us? 2 creepypastas. Yeah. Let's get into this then. Starting off with number 1 is the Rake.
It's very, very white, very pale, very tall. Well, no, that's not an offence to white people. Like, it was just looked very white to me. Very pale.
The Rake originally appeared on the internet as a creepypasta. The monster seems to attack humans for unknown reasons and often causes its victims great psychological trauma. Do you remember the story, the creepypasta story of the couple waking up in the middle of the night and the Rake is sitting at the end of their bed? Naked.
Like, what balls and all?
Does he have balls? To get into the proper description of the monster, he is humanoid, hairless, and runs on all 4s. He also has superhuman strength and quick agility. And it first appeared on the anonymous website 4chan in 2005. 4chan. That's when Doctor Who came back.
No way, 2005.
That's sick, right. According to the lore, the Rake first created a stir in 2003 after numerous people in the northeastern US, New York, started sharing sightings of a bizarre creature. Okay. It was spotted mostly in rural areas. A media blackout apparently followed these tales, and creepypasta says all of the evidence supporting the existence of the Rake disappeared. And just to finish it off, stories about the Rake go back as far as the 12th century.
I mean, now I've heard this something to do with like Native American mythology, isn't it? The Rake. You know, it's like they can morph into different forms. Like, for example, an old woman that wants to help on the roads and stuff like that. Like when you get into the car, she turns into the Rake. Is that the same story, or am I kind of?
No, that's definitely not what I've read up about him. He appears to be a creature that doesn't change. He always is the Rake. But yeah, what do you think of that monster overall? Is it scary? Has it aged bad? How did it affect you when you was younger?
Because definitely when I saw the Rake, like especially that image, like we will show you, like that image of the Rake with his fins, with his glowing eyes and stuff like. I was like, whoa, what is that? But then as I got older, I just kind of lost that sense of, you know, disbelief, that kind of innocence of being scared by all these creatures. I'm just like, what is this thing? It just looks weird. It looks like my nan after a night out, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just walking around. But I can see why young me would be scared of it, especially when I discovered internet for the first time. I'm like, wow, these things. I actually thought the Rake was real.
It's not real.
Or is it?
Moving on. Number 2, we have the Expressionless.
No, well, actually on it because she's at number 5. And now you're going on to number 2. So,
number 4, the Expressionless. In June 1972, a woman appeared in Cedar Sinai Hospital in nothing but a white, blood-covered gown. She resembled something close to a mannequin. She also had a kitten clamped in her jaw. The story was added... A kitten was
in her mouth?
In her mouth, clamped in it. The story was added to a creepypasta Tumblr in June 2012. The origin of the image is, according to Creepypasta Reddit, a picture of 2 student nurses and a waxwork dummy used for training, taken by a photographer in 1968. So that kind of ruins the mystery, to be honest. Should have mentioned that after, to be honest. But yeah, so what do you think about this creature? You've seen the image.
Yeah, I've seen the image, especially not that when you're saying the junior doctors with the woman's kind of restrained and stuff. When I saw it at first, because it was quite recent, like, was it a couple of weeks ago? When I saw it first, it kind of creeped me out, especially when he said it should be at like 2 a.m. But
he was about to go to sleep.
But at the same time that I saw it, I was kind of scared. But after a few seconds later, I was like, "What is this?" You know, I just kind of saw it as a bit silly. And it kind of shows the reaction I have with the Rake. Like, I was scared for like months and months. But right now, when I look at that image, didn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I find that it's very tough to actually get creeped out by images on the internet these days. We're so exposed to it, you know. We've become so conditioned to internet horror these days. You know, we grew up with it.
Definitely.
I think moving on to the next one, there's no other monster online that sort of epitomises being conditioned to online horror more than this monster. Moving on to, number 3, Slenderman. Originated in 2009 from 2 images by Eric Knudsen under the internet alias Victor Surge. And it was posted onto Something Awful forums depicting a tall, faceless man with tentacles standing in open spaces around children. The vagueness of the monster's backstory caused it to explode in popularity across the internet, climaxing in countless indie games featuring Slenderman, with the most popular ones being Slender the 8 Pages and Slender the Arrival by Mark Hadley in 2012 and 2013. My personal favourites though was, do you remember Slenderman Shadow? It was the ones that pretty much released immediately after by a different developer. There was a sanatorium, there was a hotel, there was a school, there was a hospital. The hospital.
I've probably seen playthroughs, but I've only played the 8 Pages one.
Yeah. They were very scary. And also, do you remember the Marble Hornets series? We can get some footage up of that right now. That was fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's aged as well, but this group of people posted video entries of them interacting with the operator, but it is Slenderman. Very interesting time to be on the internet. The legend was brought an abrupt death in popularity after the incident in 2014 when 2 mentally ill girls stabbed a girl 19 times, and they said it was for Slenderman.
When was that?
2014. I remember the meme. Well, the monster pretty much died immediately after that.
I remember when that came out. That felt quite recent, even though it was 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
That's quite
8 years ago now.
Yeah. So it kind of says a lot, like a lot of people like to, make fun of it, but when it becomes serious, they kind of drop it out. Is that kind of what happened?
It makes sense because people became obsessed with Slenderman, and then it got taken too far at that point, and then people thought we can't continue.
That's
with this.
true, yeah, and I can totally say that. Yeah.
No internet legend before or since has captured imaginations the way Eric Knudsen's Slenderman did. Slender caught on camera must have been one of the most popular search terms on YouTube between 2011 and 2014.
I think he's one of those monsters that really scared me when I was younger. I really saw him as this modern day version of the bogeyman. That kind of scares Victorian children all the time. I'm not trying to say, I'm a proper fan or anything, but the first time I found Slenderman was that iconic picture of, was it Slenderman that was in the park holding hands with children?
Yeah, we'll get the picture up now. He's not holding hands, but his tentacles are going everywhere.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So out in the open, isn't he? Which makes it quite intimidating.
When I first saw that, it looked so real. Like his suit and everything, I was so creeped out. I was like, what is that? In fact, I was scared by it. I was intrigued by it. Like he was this interdimensional being that makes children his slaves or something like that. I would think he is the textbook example. He is like the peak of internet horror, Slenderman. I don't think anyone else has ever come across as close to Slenderman.
Well, apart from Siren Head. No, I'm just moving on to your ones.
So number 2, we'll be introducing Jeff the Killer. If you don't know who Jeff the Killer, you've probably seen pictures of it. It's this image of an almost genderless figure, with his eyes.
Very progressive figure, isn't it? Who's ahead of his time.
When you see him, he's this black, greasy hair and with this huge Joker-like smile. Like when I first saw that, when I was probably 10 or 11, I was freaked out by it. Like it was my mates were showing pictures around it, and secondary school they showed me. I was like, whoa, what is that? I actually didn't look him up because I was scared of Jeff the Killer compared to Slenderman.
If you want us to do more videos about internet myths and legends, or you want us to go into more detail about the ones we spoke about already, like the video, it will indicate whether we should do this again.
So I just saw pictures of him and that was scary enough. But it's like a serial killer of sorts, isn't it? Is it supposed to be centered on Jeffrey Dahmer or not? So number 1 coming up is Antran. So I was looking up these monsters because there was a robot that was released on .2. So then after that I came onto this creepypasta image of Antran, which was a robot in the middle holding 2 boys next to him. It's one of the first few times that it actually kind of scared me when I looked at it, because like we mentioned, people would become desensitized to internet horror. It doesn't scare me anymore. But when I came across that image of Antran, it kind of scared me. When I looked at it, like this piercing eyes of Antran just staring at the camera. I was like, what is this? I've got to find out the story behind it. My father found him in like some kind of dumpster. I brought him home And because his son has no friends, his son became really good mates with Antoine.
That kid's a fucking loser, isn't he?
This red ball plays with the son constantly, like becomes his best mate, plays with his toys, and I think there's a favourite toy, a red lorry truck kind of thing, who plays with him constantly all the time.
Right.
And then one night, while the father was doing his work, he hears the noise of the son screaming. The father's like, "What's wrong?" And the son says, "You pinched me." And the dad says, "Who pinched you?" The robot did. But I got proper angry. I mean, obviously, if you were a father and you see a robot pinching the son, you go berserk on him. Yeah. "Oh, why'd you do that?" A few days later, the father's kind of, it's all going back to normal and stuff like that. And the father suddenly hears noise in his room. And it's like, "What's going on?" And he runs into the room. Son is gone.
The son is gone.
You know who else is gone?
Who?
Antoine. And a couple of days later, the father can still hear noises from the house. He can't figure out where he was. He heard this noise, goes back into the exact same room. You know what he found?
What?
The red truck.
We're going to leave it there. We're actually at 17 minutes right now. That's insane, isn't it?
Because clearly that shows our passion for internet horror. Like, we're so obsessed with it.
Yeah,
When we were
and
younger.
this is also the first video we've ever planned. But also, you know, if you enjoyed this video and you want to hear us talk about more scary stuff, then be sure to like the video. And I'm going to end this off by... Ramel? We also recently did a video about the friend zone, and if you want to watch that, then press the video right now in the centre of the screen. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later. It's been a fucking Geese video.
Subscribe and like.